Hi, I'm the Visual Gamer and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. This is about take 12 on this. I've just had problem after problem of trying to. I've just frozen my my version at 127 because I don't want it to upgrade to 128 because then it'll break all my map mods. And I want to hold on to 127 until ProMods 2.2 comes out, which I can then replace and upgrade everything to 128. So, and I've just spent about 2 hours just sorting all that out. Anyway, we are currently in Estonia and we're about to pick up a rather large electrical substation. It is heavy, but it's not the heaviest. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so let's get the ignition on. Unfortunately, it's night time and it is absolutely chucking it down with rain. So we've got our headlights and wipers already on because I've probably already switched them on so many times. Right, let's go around the corner and pick this substation up. Oh, parking brakes around the wrong way now. Right. No, the parking brake isn't engaged. Now the parking brake's off. Right. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible weather over here at the moment. Absolutely atrocious. Yeah, one of the good things though, if you caught me in my one of my last videos, I mentioned that I usually have some music on. I usually have the radio on or something like that while I'm driving. But obviously I cannot do that whilst I'm recording, because as soon as I upload that to I've got to be careful here because I've got a yellow light. Yeah, so I can't do that while I'm streaming. So I wonder, so what I've done is I've managed to pass through audio back to my mixing desk from a computer. So I'm getting radio in my headset, but the mixing desk isn't recording it. Clever, huh? Yeah, so I can listen to... You wait, I was there first, pal. You just fucking wait. So I can turn my... I've got lovely country's 90s music playing, and I'm not going to get a copyright strike. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so all I need was a certain type of lead, so I could feed it into the mixing desk. And OBS doesn't record it unless I actually specify I want you to record it. It's absolutely brilliant. I love OBS. OBS is so powerful, particularly the audio side of things now. It's absolutely brilliant. I looked at all different types, XSplit and all of that, and to be honest, OBS does everything I need and then some, you know. And the latest version, a new version drops. I think they're on version 20 now. Are we going in here? I think we are going in here. Yeah, I think it's version 20's just dropped, and they've made... did I hit that then, or was that the... they've made all the control panels modular. I'm just going to move my pedals a little bit. That's better. Right, let's have a look at this. Yeah, it's a 35-ton electrical substation. It's not particularly heavy, but it's massive. It's a massive, bulky thing. Yeah, I'm well within the... Right, so that's the next one. It's that big blue lump there. I'm hoping this rain quits at some point, because it's... Oh, I can't see a goddamn thing. I'm going to have to go to the top. There we go. That'll get me in. Yeah, I don't know. My wheels up at the moment, or are they down? Yeah, they were down. Right. Now I'm assuming this is on a steerable. Yeah, that's definitely a steerable trailer. Steering axles. Judged by the way that was coming round there. What did I hit? Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm clipping the other trailer. God damn it, how am I going to get out of it? Yeah, because the rear axles are steering, it was scraping along that other trailer because it was swinging round the back. What they need is they need the ability to lock those axles, so they only steer when you need them to steer. I'm sure they can do that in real life. Where'd that car just go? See, I've got the same problem again. I've just lifted something. Yeah, I'm totally hooked up. Right, I just want to have a look, because I opted to lift, I think it's lifted that. Yeah, it's lifted a set. Yeah, it's not doing what I'd hope it would do. Yeah, and that's the big problem with these steerable trailers. They the back swings out a lot, and you tend to get, oh, fucking, why didn't you just keep on going, for God's sake? Right, I've got just over half a tank of fuel, so and it's about a 10-hour drive. Yeah, I mean, normally you'd have like a pilot car. You can't flash me out because I'm never going to make it out around you. Why is it so busy? It's midnight, for God's sake. Oh, you... This is actually quite a hard drive. There's a poster up there. Never seen that before. Yeah, I don't know why it's so busy. I was hoping to do it. The reason for doing this at night was I wanted it to be a bit quieter, so I didn't have problems with traffic. Well, that didn't work out then, did it? I can't see a thing out that side mirror, so I don't know what my clearance is like. So I know I've got a bit of an overhang on this side. God, 10 minutes in, I've only just got out the bloody driveway. Yeah, it's great having the music playing in my head. But I have to remember that you can't hear it, so yeah, I can't leave pregnant pauses all the time, you know. I've got to remember that you can't hear it, so if I stop talking, all you've got is the drone of the engine. Yeah, so let's have a quick look where we're going. We're coming down through Estonia. Now that map's slightly out of line because that is a coastal road we should be on. We're going through Riga, down through Panevėžys, through Kaunas, and down to Suwalki. Suwalki. I've no idea how all this stuff is pronounced. So I apologise if I've just offended so many people, but yeah, I've no idea how the correct pronunciation of that is. Right, I've got a feeling I might need some fuel. I've got 614 kilometres to go. I don't know if there's a screen that tells me how far I'll make it on. Nothing, definitely nothing on that screen. I'm assuming that's saying we're going to make 1317. Alright, that's not so bad then. What's that page? Oh, it's a gear. That's the one I like it on because it tells me my cruise control. Right, I'm gonna have to treat this like I'm extra wide and just ride that white line because I can't see a thing out that side mirror at the moment, so I've no idea. Have I got any beacons on this? I've got beacons on me, but not on the trailer. I don't like riding with the beacons on. I tend to put them on just in towns and when I'm manoeuvring, simply because they're a bit headache inducing, to be honest, and yeah, so I tend to just ride with them off unless I need them. I don't know, I have noticed that with the AI, if you put your hazards on, they tend to hang back a little bit. Oh god, I've got a car coming. Or is that's a bloody truck, isn't it? Oh god, I've got to try and keep it. Sorry, my high beams are on. Yes, I know my high beams are on. Got what I'm saying now. Yeah, I'm just going to have to treat it like it's a very wide load and hug that white line because I can't see a thing out that side mirror. So, what's that vibrating? Is that because I'm on that white line? God, this thing's so wide. So I don't know if this is a vanilla trailer or if it's one of the GIZYCKO or Penguin trailers. I don't know if they started loading heavy haul stuff into it. Rain is not going to let up, is it? Now I'm just wondering, I'm not going to go in there to fill up because that'd be a nightmare. Yeah, I'm just worrying a little bit that with the heavy haul I might end up drawing more fuel than the estimate is going to allow for, because pulling a heavy haul is like driving uphill constantly. So the computers on board the trucks that analyze analyze your usage and stuff like that. I'm not talking about real life trucks. I'm talking about the software inside the game that does it. All it's gonna work out is your average MPG, your distance you got to drive, or the average MPG that you're doing, and how much fuel you got left, and it'll tell you how far you've got to go. But I don't know whether it takes, if that constantly updates, or whether it's just a one-off calculation. Does it constantly on the fly make that calculation and work it out? So if I'm drawing, say, an average of 3 miles per gallon, is the computer going to take that into account and update that, or is it just when you fill up, it calculates based on your average MPG and then gives you the number, and then just deducts from that number for each mile you do, or does it actually update? I suppose what we could do, it's going to be difficult, so I'd have to keep a note of how many miles I've done versus how many miles it's actually showing. If I had somebody here with me to do it, but I'm trying to record and drive and speak and everything at the same time. I just can't do that as well. I don't seem to be using the cruise control, so let's put it onto that. Let's see. Oh, it's actually gone up. It's now, oh no, it's gone down, because it was 1.3, wasn't it? And I've done about 100k. Yeah, so it has just taken exactly 100k off of that figure. So is that the case? Is it just going to deduct from an initial calculation? I think that's what it's doing. Oh, I wish this rain would stop. Yeah, I know, I've got my headlight. Ah, that was a bit fast. Are we going straight on now? I hope we're going straight on. We should be going straight on, because I think it's a fairly straight run. Yeah, so it's normally for these sorts of loads, you'd have a pilot car. I don't know if anybody watches Outback Truckers at all, but they do a lot of major loads, and that huge loads. I mean, these electrical substations, I mean, they're pulling loads that are like 150 tons, and they've got to have sort of like 8 trucks in tandem to move the load, and they have this special trailer, which is the electrical substation is mounted in between these massive beams that are on a cantilever, and there's, I don't know, there's probably 20 rows of 4 tyres per row. Huge, I mean, hundreds of tyres, and this whole thing can lift up and down, so they can move the bottom of the substation inches off the floor. Or if they've got to ride over a curb, if they've got a massive junction, if they've got to ride over a curb, they can actually lift the substation up so it clears obstacles that they've got to drive over. And they do like 8 miles an hour or something like that. Absolutely stupid, and they're going for hundreds and hundreds of miles, sometimes thousands. Right, we've got a turn here. Yeah, but they would have a massive team, and their trailers, they actually have a guy sitting on the trailer in a little cab who can steer the trailer. So you'll get 4 trucks at the front, 4 trucks at the back, all with these metal bars combining their engines, so they've got thousands of horsepower, and then they'll go around the corner, they'll steer around the corner, then they'll steer the trailer, so the trailer actually sort of does this side step through the junction, and then once they're around the junction, they lock the wheels straight again. Well, there's another company who, oh god, I'm meant to be turning it. That's me nattering away. Right. God, I wish this rain would give up. I'm doing this blind. I really can't see a goddamn thing. God, it's a little tiny road. Oh, rain, stop, please. Yeah, so they've got another company who moves houses. Right. What I mean by that is he doesn't move people's belongings, they move houses. Yeah, over in the Oz, if they want to move house, they buy a plot of land, then they lift the house, move it across the country, and plop it down onto the new plot. It's insane. And there was this massive, it was a huge house in the last episode I watched. It was a massive house. Oh, I've got roundabout. And yeah, they split the house down into 3 sections and then moved all 3 sections. God, thank God there's no centre curbstones on this. Oh, massive roundabout coming up. Yeah, so then they get to the place and they have to manoeuvre these trailers, all steerable trailers and stuff like that. So these 3 trucks spend hours just doing this ballet of manoeuvring. So the house, the 3 sections of the house are in absolute perfect alignment, right where the city planners say it's got to be, and it's got to be within millimetres, absolute millimetre perfect. And yeah, so they showed this time-lapse footage, and these trucks are just tiny little movements to get these 3 pieces in place. Then the trailers, they lift the whole thing up. Oh, you arse! Yeah, they lift all 3 sections up. Probably about 2 meters off the ground, something like that. And then these hydraulics go in, they move the trailer out, and the hydraulics then lower the house into position. Absolutely incredible, you know. Yeah, I haven't got my high beams on. Yeah, thank you, pal. There's another guy on there. I mean, out in Australia, you can have 3 full-size trailers in a road train. I mean, the 3 you can get in Nevada in ATS, they're not full-size trailers. So what they'll have is that they'll have the prime mover, they'll have a trailer, they'll have a dolly, they'll have a trailer, they'll have a dolly, and another trailer. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 articulation points. And yeah, there's a guy out there called Sludge, and he's just typical. Like, well, he's actually New Zealand in origin, but he drives in Oz, and he drives fuel out to the massive farms. I mean, you got like 200-kilometer farms. Well, in actual fact, it's probably about 400-kilometer, because you drive onto the guy's land, you still got 200 kilometers to go to get to his farmhouse. That's how big these places are. Yeah, so he drives fuel out to all these farms to keep them going, basically. And now the roads they drive on, they're not tarmac roads. I mean, once you get in the outback, you're driving on dirt roads. And what they've been having problems with the last few years is rain, heavy storms. And now they do have their wet season, but even I've got a left-hand turn coming up. Even outside of the wet season, is it becoming light? It's becoming light. Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be very fucking tight. Right, let's see if I can... Oh, thank God for those steering axles. I think the rain is actually letting up. Yep, the rain's actually letting up. Right, so once that window clears, I'll actually be able to see out of there. Yeah, so the roads they drive, so they're having this major problem with the wet season, and the problem is the roads are just falling away, and you've got rivers, you know, sort of flash flood style rivers that are crossing the roads and things like that. And there's a truck driver out there called Graham, somebody else, I can't remember his surname, got a border crossing coming up. Fuel's going to be fine, we've just passed half a tank, so yeah, fuel will be fine. Yeah, so, and they literally have to drive as fast as they can to get through some of these muddy sections. Absolutely madness. But then on the flip side, when it's really dry, you get what's called corrugations. Corrugations are ridges in the road where trucks have been driving fast. They create these ridges. I don't understand. What the fuck was that about? Why did I have... I suppose it's for any left turns that people want to do into the petrol station. Yeah, so it's like driving across a washboard. You're going all the time, hour upon hour upon hour of just driving like that all the time. I mean, it shakes the trucks to pieces. Yeah, absolutely shakes the trucks to pieces. And then there's another guy who is a real character. Right, I don't know if you ever watched... oh, I'm rolling forward. Don't know if you ever watched Ice Road Truckers. Anybody that... Why is my frame rate just took a massive beating. Yeah, there's a guy in Ice Road Truckers who had the blue hair, and he was friends with the polar bear. I can't remember his name now. But there's a guy in Outback Truckers. They could be brothers. They really could. This is going to be tight through here. This isn't just going to be tight. This is going to be really fucking tight. Yeah, and the guy is an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. He's constantly getting a new truck. He goes, oh, this truck's now my baby, you know. Every episode he seems like he's got a brand new truck because he doesn't look after them. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is tight. Clearance on that side is virtually negligible. Right, at least now I can move over to the right a little bit. Yeah, his name's Turbo. Well, that's his nickname. And yeah, he's always having trouble. He you know, sort of burst radiators, bearing hubs blowing on him, and you know, he picks up a new truck. He goes, oh, you know, this truck's absolutely brilliant condition. You know, oh, it's a real bargain. 200 miles down the road and the hub's gone, or the radiator's blown, or something's gone wrong with it, you know. And how he gets work, I don't know. But in real life, he got taken to court because I think tax evasion was one of the things he got caught on. Yeah, one of his trucks put it into a garage for repairs, and he didn't pay the bill, and he just ended up abandoning the truck with the garage. Yeah, and I think he got sued by them as well. Well, I've got a right-hand turn coming up. At least I can actually see what I'm doing now. God, what's going on with the frame rate at the moment? Oh shit, that was close. Alright, about halfway. Yeah, so if you haven't seen Outback Truckers, I highly recommend it. There's about 5, I think we're on season 5 now, so it's not just one of these things that's going to come and go. I mean, it's been going for a while, but it is difficult to find. I think you can probably catch it on YouTube, possibly, but I highly recommend it. Ice Road Truckers got all stupid about, you know, all competition between the companies, and the polar bear was, I'm just gonna go and I don't give a shit about anything, and that's not how it is up there, you know. From what I understand, the drivers that do actually drive the Dalton Highway, they hate Ice Road Truckers because it just gives the completely wrong impression of what life is really like out there. And Ice Road Truckers started out all right. Excuse me, and then it just that they obviously needed some excitement to keep things going, and they felt they needed to sort of add all this drama in and stuff like that. And then you had Ice Road Truckers Dangerous Roads, I think it was, and actually Polar Bear and I think it's Dave, I think the guy's name is, the guy with the blue hair, Turbo's brother. They actually walked off because the producers were asking them to do things to make it more interesting that was actually dangerous to them. They could lose their lives by fucking around, and trying. It's like they were doing the Death Road, down in South America, the American Death Road, which is basically, there's a mountain and they've cut a slight edge into it, a slight nook into the mountain, and they call that a road. People die there every month, and the producers were trying to get them to drive really fast, and which is not only risky for the guys who are doing it, but they could also risk the lives of people that are actually trying to earn their living. They're trying to earn the money they need to live. And they were fucking the road up as well, They were damaging sections of the road, which meant the people that actually need the road to live their lives on couldn't do their job. And if they can't do their job, they don't get paid. If they don't get paid, they don't eat. Cool. Is that a slide? Is that an uphill right there? Yeah, I think it is. So the Polar Bear and I can't remember. I'm sure it's Dave. We'll call him Dave. Blue Dave. The Polar Bear and Dave actually walked off the series. They abandoned their contracts. I think IRT tried to sue them. I can't remember. So Ice Road Truckers is nothing like real life anymore, and it's got all this drama in it and stuff like that. But Outback Truckers have not done that. Outback Truckers have just shown you what you want to see, which is truck drivers doing their job. So actually, I prefer Outback Truckers than Ice Road Truckers, to be honest. But it's like anything. I mean, how long is it going to last? It'll be a shame when it finishes, because there's not much else out there to fill that void, Something good you might want to watch is called Highway Through Hell, which is it's based out in Alberta in Canada, and it's based around this heavy rescue service on the Coquihalla Highway. And the Coquihalla goes up really high into the mountains, and they get treacherous snow up there. And you got this guy, what's his name, Jamie Davis, heavy rescue, and he's got these massive truck style pickup trucks, like tow trucks, you know, not pickup trucks, tow trucks. And they basically pull stuff out of ditches, trucks that have jackknifed and stuff like this, and you get a slight splattering of snow up there, and it all goes to hell. Really does. And the main problem is truck drivers don't want to get out and put on their chains, even though, you know, the signs are all up saying put your fucking chains on. They don't. So they hit the ice and they just slide. And unfortunately, when these idiots who don't want to put on their chains, they take other people out as well as themselves, you know, which is highly unfair to the the drivers that did take the time to put on their chains, because it's not an easy thing. I think it can take up to like 45 minutes to chain up a truck. Maybe should have gone in there and got some fuel. Maybe I'm probably going to regret doing that, but because that was quite a good. If I get one on my side, I will pull in and get some fuel, I think. Yeah, and he's just spreading out into the oil road, which is the main road maintained by the oil companies. There's so much money up there. Is when a vehicle crashes, they just leave it. You know, fuck it. We'll just leave it in the ditch. But he's trying to branch out into that zone, because obviously if he can recover, because there was absolutely no recovery available up there, so there was no option but to abandon the vehicles. But with a rescue service available, then yeah, there's all these trucks there. There's a massive backlog of trucks that needs to be recovered. So there's plenty of money. Yeah, so there's that, and there was another one called Ice Highway Rescue or something like that. I think that was based in. Oh, let me think. It was based in Finland or something like that, I believe. And yeah, but that was alright. But they didn't really speak much English, so when they were talking to customers and stuff like that, you didn't know what the hell was being said, which is unfortunate, you know. They didn't even put subtitles up, you know, they just left it as it was. So, but I only think that only did 2 seasons, I think. Might have been 1 season, I really can't remember. Alright, I'm gonna make it out, gonna make it. I'm gonna piss that truck off behind me, but I'm coming out. Sorry, dude. So it makes a huge difference having some music playing for me. You know, it just fills that void in your head, and you know, it just breaks up the monotony of it, because this can get boring sometimes, you know. And it gets a bit of a grind as well when you're recording for the YouTube channel, you know. It's like, oh, God, I've got to go and record another video, you know. It does get a bit like that. What really keeps me going is when I get the comments from people, and sort of people saying that, you know, really impressed, and sort of, you know, it was great to watch and stuff like that. Those are simple comments, but yeah, they mean a huge amount to me, a massive amount. Christ, that was straight on then. There was absolutely no slip road joining that road there at all. Yeah, at the moment I just seem to be getting a lot of these comments where, hey, I think you're great, please visit my Instagram channel, and you know, it's just all copied and pasted, you know. And I know hardly anybody's watching this at the moment. I know it takes time to build up an audience, you know. I've been going since, what, February now, I think, something like that. Yeah, I just hope at some point it picks up, and you know, sort of start. I really want to build a community, you know. I really want to have. I'm not interested in fame and fortune and stuff like that. I just want to build a community. I just want to connect with like-minded people, you know. That's all I want to do. Obviously, yeah, to make some money on the side would be great, you know. Because I mean, I don't work, not through choice, unfortunately. My health does not allow me to. Maybe at some point I'll go into detail about that, but as for now, I'll just leave it at that. You know, I'm unable to work, and I've got a time limit as well. I'm only going to be able to do this for so long before health overrides my desire. So, you know, but anyway, don't worry about that. Forget about all that. Right, where are we now? We are. Is this another border crossing? Looks like a border crossing to me. Right, how long we got? An hour 41. Oh, parking this trailer is going to be a freaking nightmare, isn't it? I really, really do wish you could lock those wheels. So I just cut somebody up who was just trying to overtake me then. Yeah, I really wish you could lock these steerable axles, because they're great for getting around corners and stuff like that, but when you're trying to park up, not so great. Or when you're trying to get out of a tight area, sometimes you want it to swing round in a certain way. I mean, there was that drop off there. I had no option then. I had to scrape the trailer down the side of the other one. It was more the load, because the load was hanging off the side, so I had no option then but to scrape the load down the side of the trailer to get it out. You know, nothing I could do about that at all. Yeah, so the ability to lock those tyres straight, because when they turn, they swing. Yeah, the back swings out and cause all sorts of problems. I'm sure you can lock them in real life. Swalky, I'm sure this is where I was meant to be going. I'm meant to be turning right there, but I can also go down to this one and do a right, that's what I'm going to do. Because that's one turn rather than 3 then. Hey, McDonald's! Oh, shit! That wasn't clever. Please don't be any cars behind me. So busy looking at McDonald's. I'm going to have to go extra low gear. I've lost my extra low. Arses. Yeah. All right. I just missed my turn, that's all. Oh, I'm in the wrong gear. I'm totally the wrong gear, that's why. I was still in high range. amazed it managed to pull away in that. That'd be why I've lost my... Oh, I have still got my extra low, yeah. Wow, that was close. I nearly stacked it right into that bloody... Oh my god, look at that drive that's coming. I thought that was someone beeping at me then. Yeah, look at that drive. It's a twisty, turny road that's going up into the hills by the looks of it. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, look, you arsehole. Stop trying to pass me. I've got my left turn on. Oh, this is going to be a fun drive. There, we've got some nasty switchbacks. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see pilot cars because they'll never know which way you're going to go, you know. Normally the pilot car would lead you. I mean, you'd have to have some way of telling the pilot car that you need to stop for fuel, possibly, and stuff like that. The program of the AI behind that would be an absolute nightmare. What would be cool though if they had multiplayer, if they ever bring out multiplayer, so then you could have other people being your pilots. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And then you could even do like hookups, so like you have sort of, I'd be driving at the front and I'd have a guy on a rigid tow bar behind me giving me some extra oomph when I need it, you know. Yeah, so if then you could move into the realms of like 100+ tons. You know, like up here, you know, it'd be pushing just a little bit extra, just to push the back end up, you know. That would be fun. Yeah, multiple people working on the same job. Pilot car at the back, pilot car at the rear. Main driver, backup driver. Can't ever see that happening, to be honest. Oh, I'm getting very low on fuel. Down to about 1/8 of a tank, I guess. Quarter of a tank, just under quarter of a tank, probably. Definitely have to refill on the next job at least, I think. Yes, it was in that town, but it was right out and then up this slopey area, and I think yeah, is this going back into, I don't know, GIZYCKO. It reminds me of a job I did years and years ago, where I had to drive up this switchback. It was up this massive hill, and I couldn't do it. This was way before diff locks were in and things like that. Oh, I could have picked up some fuel there, couldn't I? I'll pick it up on the way out. Yeah, so it's long before diff locking was available and stuff like that, and the multiple axles. It was just standard 2 axles, and yeah, I was fine on the straights, but when it came to the corners, you obviously need more torque when you pull around a corner than you do when you're pulling on a straight. And the truck just did not have the guts to pull me around the corners. I got up about 3 of them, I think, in the end. Right, oh shit, we've got to go in here. Oh, I know this drop off. I've got to reverse it around this damn corner. I've done this one before and it's an absolute pig. Because you get cars coming up behind you and then you can't go anywhere. I don't know if I'm far enough on yet. Alright, alright. No, I've got to go further on, and if I move further on, yeah, you see the problem I've got with those steerable axles? I'm going to have to do it from this angle. There's no way I could do this turn. My wheels keep hitting that curb and oh, I've screwed this up completely. This is where you really need a banksman. Right, I've got to bring that front around. I've got to straighten it up a little bit. So I know it's kind of cheating doing it from this angle, but there's just no way on earth would I have been able to see out those mirrors enough. I could have put the internal mirrors on, I suppose. Could have done it if I could have seen out the window, out the mirrors. Right, when's that going to go? Yes, we're in. Right, we're going to leave it here, I think. Right, so there we are. Excellent work. 632 kilometers, 28,771, 1,044 points. Right, okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Enables notifications with a little bell icon to make sure you get informed of new videos that I put out. And you can find me on Twitter. I'm at miserable_gamer. On Facebook /miserablegamer, all one word. And please leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of that drive and let me think of my parking. That wasn't too bad. I think I redeemed myself from last time's parking because I totally cocked that one up last time. Although I did have to use the external cameras, but I do feel that you would have had a banksman to help you on that sort of turn. And then I had the problem with the traffic as well, but yeah, luckily they did hold back. But anyway, yeah, so leave me a comment below, let me know what you think, or just say hi. It's great to hear from you. So once again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.